John Calvin, Selected Letters, Episode 31. Sed quoniam perplexa illis res videtur ad hoc haerent dubii, donec tua et domini luteri auctoritate confirmentur, et quidem vereor ne ideo vos consulant, quod sperderent vos sibi fordere mitiores. Calvin says, but because, sed quoniam, this subject, race, seems to those persons complicated. Now, it's difficult to take it in the Latin word order and make it into English, but because complicated to them the matter seems, sounds terrible, they are still in doubt. They are still ad hoc, which means ad hoc tempus, up to this point. This is a good definition to remember. They are still, or up to this point, they are hung in doubt, or they hesitate, doubting, until, donec, by your and that of Mr. Luther, by your and that of Mr. Luther, the auctoritate, the influence, until they are confirmentur, until they are confirmed or strengthened in their opinion. So let's look just at that first sentence and its grammar and structure for a moment. This sentence has three clauses, two subordinate clauses. The first is, sed quoniam perplexa illis res videtur, then the main clause, which is ad hoc haerent dubii, and then the second subordinate clause, which is donec through confirmentur. The subject of the first clause is race, which is feminine singular and nominative, fifth declension noun. The verb is videtur. So Calvin says, but because this matter, race, seems perplexa, and this is the same gender, number, and case, because it is, in effect, the predicate of race, and illis is masculine plural and dative. And this refers to the persons who don't like Calvin's criticism of those who know the gospel truth, as he says, the evangelii lucet donati sent, but they are still participating in Catholic services and ceremonies. So that's the first clause, the subordinate one. Then the main one is ad hoc haerent dubii. Here we have masculine plural nominative, dubii. It is a substantive adjective from the first and second declension adjective dubious a. Here it now has become a noun. So they haerent, they are stuck in doubt or uncertainty. That's the main clause right there. The third one is the subordinate clause, donec through confirmentur. Until, donec, and then we have tua, which is ablative, and auctoritate, which is also ablative. And these are ablatives of instrument with confirmentur, until they are reassured, confirmentur, third plural, present, subjunctive, and passive, from the first conjugation verb confirmo, confirmare, like so, until they are reassured by your authority, tua auctoritate, and by that of di luteri. So the D here is short for domini, and this means Mr. or the respectable. It's how you show honor or deference to someone. It's a title. And so both of these, D and Lutheri, are masculine, singular, and genitive, until they are reassured by your authority and that of Mr. Luther. Notice how the word order here is kind of interlinked. It puts Melanchthon and Luther very close together in their opinions and so forth, because notice tu and auctoritate, and then Luther is right on the inside of that, domini luteri. Now we go on to the second sentence, and indeed I fear. That's going to be the et quidem vereor, and yes, I am afraid. Now we have what is called a fear clause. That's the ne through consulant. And vereor, which takes this fear clause, ut is a fear that something will not happen, and ne is a fear that something will happen. So, and indeed I fear that they are seeking your opinion, vos consulant, for this reason, ideo. Consulant, then, in the fear clause, is a third plural, present, subjunctive, as we would expect since it's a fear clause, present, subjunctive, active. And this is from the third conjugation verb consulo, consulere, like so, with vos, masculine plural, accusative, referring to Luther and Melanchthon as the object. And yes, I fear that they are seeking your opinion for this reason, ideo, namely because they hope, spare rent, and now this introduces oratio obliqua, they hope that you, vos here, masculine plural accusative, will be, fordre, more gentle, mitiores, to them, or more accommodating, more lenient. So this is a comparative adjective, and it is masculine plural accusative because it is the predicate of vos. And sibi in the masculine plural and dative has reference to the subject of spare rent. If you enjoyed that little video lesson, please go ahead and subscribe for us, click the bell, and so forth. Check out the other videos on this page, leave a comment, and please be sure to check out our Patreon page as well.